Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Are we fucking live?
We're live.
Oh my God. You know what? Hey, welcome back to Bullits and Bourbon podcast. This is episode 72, and we've had quite the month of not doing a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because you're a bum.
A fucking holiday blues, baby.
And we're pretty much...
So welcome to 2025.
Yeah, welcome to 2025. First podcast of the year.
New Year, same shit.
Yeah, New Year, same shit. I still got to sit next to him and you. So, you know, we said we were going to do our 2024, our top 5 of 2024. And not the top 5 that were made in 2024, but the ones that we had, right? Because a lot of people ask, they said, well, what did you guys love in 2024? And we started to say, well, we'll just do the ones that were made. That's a little hard because there were a lot that we went out and we looked for and found, and we decided, like, man, this is really good. So we're gonna do that, and then you got a little taste test for us.
Yeah, a little taste test.
What is this?
You want to start off with this first, and then go into that?
Yeah. We'll do that first. Let's talk about this little taste test.
Still not sponsored.
Because he's
My chicken cock, still not sponsored. So what we're going after, last year, early in 2024, I got the Field Ethos 8-year reserve, which
Right.
comes in at 120 proof. And as you can see, throughout the year, we've crushed this bottle.
that was a good bottle.
This was a good bottle.
Yeah, this was a good bottle.
But right before the holidays, Chicken Cock also put out a new Field Ethos.
Is this while they were still ignoring you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, still not sponsored. But this is a 6-year age coming in at 128.8 proof.
You say while they were still ignoring him like it's past tense.
Yeah,
they are still ignoring
They're like,
him now. They still
like, this guy's
You want to go ahead and pour that first one out?
Yeah. What do you have in your cup already, Craig?
This is one of my favorites.
All right, you're gonna save it. Yeah. Since you just can't help yourself. Are we killing this bottle?
Yeah, we're killing this bottle.
Then you get that much, Craig. I get this much as normal. There we go.
What was it? Oh, really?
What was it based off weight?
Yeah, must be.
Based on dick size. Yeah, don't be envious. Oh, God, it's so hard to kill a bottle off.
That's all right.
Oh, that's sad.
Ah,
Did they
Drip.
actually,
drip.
Did they carry that in PA, or how'd you get that bottle?
So the Field Ethos,
Bye-bye,
I've
Field
only
Ethos.
been able to get it online through Chicken Cock.
Okay.
But hey, we save tops around here. That goes at the topper bucket. And this guy is dead, huh? Dead bottle. All right.
But they put out, which is nice with the Field Ethos they released right before the holidays. It also comes with their, I believe, a small batch as well for like $130.
That one's mine.
Don't get them mixed up. So let's go ahead. Taste the 8-year Field Ethos from last year.
That was the first one, right?
That's the first pour, correct?
It's a very fruity on the nose, though.
Yeah, fruity, vanilla.
Smooth. Not very strong like a.
Man, I'm really excited about wings tonight.
Yeah, you're fat.
That's not funny. That hurts my feelings.
Yeah, but it almost has an ethanol smell to it.
So I don't think it does. I don't pick up on that.
Very fruity. The palate's got a higher. I mean, you can taste a little bit of the proof on the palate, but it's
It's higher on the palate than on the nose.
But dried fruit, fig, vanilla.
I think it's.
There's a berry, some type of berry. I don't know. A black? No, black's not the right one.
I think it's great on the nose.
Blueberry, maybe? No.
That's not. It's a real like mulberry or something. It's like one of those tart berries.
Maybe it's dingleberry.
I swear to God, you're such a child. God.
Well, this didn't make my top 5 for 2024, but this was probably and maybe my top 25 for sure.
I remember when we tried this one a while back, and I liked it, but it wasn't anything that was like it would have probably made top 50 for me.
Yeah.
The 8-year. It's got a decent finish. It's got a decent hug on it. It's bodied. I mean, it's a good whiskey, but it just wasn't. When we talk about our top 5s, it didn't break those it just didn't have those barriers. Yeah,
I think your top five. I think our top picks you always know because you have that wow factor
right away. Yeah.
Oh, immediately.
When you have to think about it, I mean,
Yeah,
great
which
pour,
doesn't
but
mean that it's not a great whiskey or
Correct.
it's not great to have. It's just
not our top.
there are some that just knock your socks off right away.
What was the? I don't know, what was the price point on this one, Dan?
I think they're both about the same, right?
Yeah, I think they both come in at like anywhere between like 130 to 159.
Yeah. So, I mean, it starts to get tough because
not a cheap bottle.
no, especially when there are going to be some others that we talk about from Chicken Cock that are in our top five. I think unanimously, and you're not that far away from that price. So, all right. So we did the 8.
Did they?
Okay. What is this one?
So this is the 6th year that they just released right before the holidays.
So that's lighter on the nose.
This one, I believe, is the higher proof out of the two. This one comes in at 128.8.
Oh, it is higher. So there's a more subtle molasses vanilla.
Yeah, I do pick up the vanilla.
Yeah, it's more
almost
subtle
like
though.
a caramel.
I don't get so much of the fruit on the nose. I get the stronger proof smell on the nose.
Not on this one. I get
I
more.
didn't get it on that one.
I get more vanilla, caramel, and like a very light like wood or oak to it.
Ooh. The palate on this one I really like. This has got a heavy
It's a grassy.
oak, grassy, almost nutty. Like trying to think of like what kind of nut would. Don't start using
Hazelnut.
These nuts.
So hazelnut is like a hazelnut and almost there's another kind of it's like a medley of just kind of nuttiness in
I
there.
get a grassy
Trail mix.
Yeah.
What was it we drank? You and I were sitting here drinking the other night. Not to get away from this one, but what did we drink the other night though too? That we're like, holy shit, this tastes very earthy. Like,
No, well,
Maker's Mark is a very earthy,
It
but
wasn't
what was
Maker's
it?
Mark,
No, it was
because
not
what we
Maker's, but it
referred
was-
to it Maker's
and
Mark.
we're like, oh my god, this is earth tone.
Oh,
we
man.
both said this tastes like.
What was it?
I don't remember. We'll have to revisit it.
Yeah.
Come back to it, but whatever we tried when you weren't here last night, Dan.
It was like dirt.
some of your.
I mean, not in a bad way.
Some
but
of your
just
basic-
earth.
Was it a rye?
No, it wasn't a
Some of your
rye.
basic makers, your lower level makers are very earth tony, and this one we both were like, oh god, this tastes like earth, like peat moss.
That's gonna bug me. What was it that we had last night?
Shit, we'll come back to it though.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it was definitely a wake up call.
so
for
which
the
ones
palate.
you two? I would go with the 8 year. I would.
I think I'm going to be honest with you. I think the 6 is better rounded. I think it has more. It has a more well balanced body. The hug is equally as enjoyable as the 8. Probably because it's higher proof for me. So from front to back, I like the 6 better than I like the 8.
Yeah.
I just it hits more of like we got more flavor packed in a 6 year than we did the 8 year.
I think
The
it's
8
more
year is good.
complex. I think that one's better
I
on
think
the
the
nose.
6 year is definitely a lot more
Yeah.
complex.
8 years
than the
better on the nose. I think. This one I can smell it more. The ethanol. I think it's a little more complex.
See, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I don't-
It's opposite. I got more ethanol on the 8
Yeah.
year.
I feel like the 6 year is just a better built bourbon, and that takes nothing away. I mean, we've talked about this before, where you can slap on an 18-year age statement or 12-year. It doesn't mean that you're going to have a good whiskey after all that time. Especially if you take it out, you got to add water to it to bring it down and improve. You're not always going to. Oh, it's a 12-year. It's always going to be better than a 6 year. No, not
A lot
always.
of people are that way. A lot of people are not a fan of when they see it's a young whiskey. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's such a young whiskey,"
And that's not true.
It's
No.
not complex.
That's not true.
No, this I think the 6 year is very complex. It's very good, very enjoyable.
I enjoy the 6 year over the 8 year when it comes to this.
Oh.
Just me personally. You like the 8 year over the 6?
I would lean a little more towards the 8 year.
Yeah,
So-
I go 6 hands down.
Now we talk about this because you're probably not going to find the 8 year now.
You might be
You
able
might.
to on
Secondary,
secondary or if somebody's holding it, but I know online on the Chicken Cock website, it's not available. But
Yeah.
there is the 6 year that they just released.
So it's a buy for you, obviously.
I just ordered 2 more bottles.
Okay. What about you? Which one would you pour your attention toward, the 8 or the 6?
I mean, like I said, I'm gonna go with the 8. I mean, I don't know. Price point's the same for both of them though.
Roughly, right?
Yeah,
mean-
roughly,
Yeah.
I think.
When you like one here, you like one here. But if you start talking prices here, well, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
yeah,
towards a
yeah.
little bit lesser one then because of price point. But yeah, I like the 8 year.
Wow.
I do.
Well, that's like me originally. Like I was in love with that 8-year, and then I had the 6-year, and I was like, you know what? It's a close call, but
Yeah.
you know, I'm
we still
really
haven't-
enjoying the 6.
We haven't cracked a new one yet, too, either. Here, we'll have to crack some.
That's the
other-
reserve cask, right?
It's 130 proof.
Yeah.
dropped
I think it's
dropped in Ohio, and
I think
picked
it's
it up.
a barrel pick from Ohio.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It was interesting because, excuse me, as we jump into our fives, you got that Manzanera.
Yes,
And we had problems with ordering it. Thank God, because
you know what? But
we didn't really end up liking it.
Here's the thing: when we originally had it, I didn't care for it, but I revisited it like right around the holidays,
It was growing you.
and it's grown on me. I think it was able to open up, breathe a little bit,
Yeah.
and the flavor profile. Again, it might have been what I've ate that day, smoked that day, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, we really
last time I had
too. For the majority of December, we did not drink a lot, as much as we normally do. We were kind of. I mean, to be honest with you, just the busyness
I don't know,
of December.
College football, we've drank a lot.
Well, the last 2 or 3 days.
Well,
has
the
been different.
Manzanera,
Yeah.
none of us here tried it again. Dan tried it again.
Yeah.
though. I think that if I remember right, I think I was a fan, but it was a flavor again. It was something.
It was a complex
because
flavor.
I never had the Manzanera wood or
I don't know who
I.
I retried it with when we had a bunch of people over here. I don't know if it was Andrew, you, or Ty.
I don't think
or
I've tried it
maybe-
since we cracked it though.
or maybe Jim.
You did retry it, and you did like. I remember you liking it more.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, it was like there's one that's probably going to be in all of our top fives from Chicken Cock.
And that's why I brought the chicken cock out.
And it still doesn't hold a candle to
'Cause-
it. I was just glad that by whatever chance I didn't waste the money on that versus now trying something else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the benefits of we all buy a pretty significant amount of bottles, even though we've been on kind of a sabbatical the last month. But I would have been disappointed with buying that particular bottle, knowing what else is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way I look at it. So, with that being said, let's jump into it. Let's hit our top five.
We going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or we going
Yeah.
1? Okay.
So-
I don't think I really have an order, but I mean,
No, you have to have an order. We've talked about this for a year.
we said top five. We didn't say order.
I swear,
You know what I'm
it's
talking
like
about.
it's like he's
yeah.
Here you go.
The dude
So-
needs some Prevagen.
You forgot
You
your
just-
top five.
oh,
Remember
just
you came over
stop.
now, you're like, I didn't have my top five.
Yeah,
You forgot we're even doing
I
this.
should
All right.
fuck with you guys.
Yeah. God.
All of you. You know what?
Think about the order.
New Year, same shit. Still not sponsored by Chicken Cock, and I'm throwing it out there. 2025, we're getting sponsored by Chicken
I
Cock.
bet money we're not.
I bet you I will.
No, I
Okay.
could do mine though. I mean, I can start with
Yeah,
mine.
you're not going first.
Oh.
You missed that opportunity.
All right,
Go ahead,
All right.
Daniel
You know,
Taylor.
the number 5, and I'm going to jack up the name.
Yeah, you are. I love this part.
I am. But it was the Liberty Pole corn whiskey.
I know what you're talking about.
And I can't remember what the label was.
It was the single barrel corn whiskey release.
Only had like 68 bottles or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
it was a very, very light barrel.
It was absolutely phenomenal. And I know a few of our friends went on a secondary around PA looking for people who had it.
Oh, yeah.
That was paying. They paid astronomical fees
Yeah.
to get that bottle.
I was surprised that you liked that as much as you did.
Oh, it
That was cool.
And I'm not saying it because you're very close with the Huffs over at Liberty Pole, but you know that's one of the bottles that really just, I mean, blew
Well, it
a lot.
made up for you dissing RC Cola
Yeah.
or Cherry Cola.
Yeah, because
Anyway.
I see Jim gave me that look like, yeah, you fucking bashed our RC Cola on the podcast. And he kind of gave me that look, and I was like, well, I gotta be honest, I don't like cola.
You don't like Cherry Cola
I don't
flavored
like cherry
things.
cola
Yeah.
flavored,
Yeah.
you know. So
That's all right.
I didn't like it, and that was my palate, and I stick to it. I still don't like that single barrel release, but the that
Can't
corn
help the
whiskey
stupid.
was absolute killer.
No, the corn whiskey was good. All right, so that's 5.
So that was my number 5. Number 4, and I got to thank, I don't know if it was
Danka?
Craig or Connor, or Danka or Connor, but the Blanton's Golden. Blanton's.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it when we have to admit that Blanton's does something right.
When
right?
Buffalo Trace does something,
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
It was tough because it was a toss up between that and the single oak project. To crack my top 5. The single oak project was so close to cracking my top 5, but just didn't make it. But the Blanton's Gold, 100%. That great, phenomenal pour.
3.
So number 3, Marianne's Forbidden
Batch 2 or
Batch 2.
Okay.
Batch 2. I could drink that absolutely
all day. Well, we did. We crushed a lot of those bottles. We need to order some more.
It was just a great, enjoyable pour.
Yeah.
And I was shocked because I didn't know what to expect. And it was one of those that it was enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, she's a legend for a reason.
Yeah. It wasn't overpowering. It was just, it's one of those I need to buy more and more bottles so I can make that my everyday pour.
Number 2?
Number 1 and 2 was a toss up. It was a straight battle. And I have to go with number 2 is going to be Wild Turkey
Voyage.
My
man.
Wild Turkey Voyage.
Okay.
I actually had a sip right before New Year's Eve. Just a very, very tiny because I don't have much left in my bottle. It's silky smooth,
Silky smooth.
Absolutely an enjoyable bottle for me for 2024.
And we know number 1.
And number 1, still not sponsored, Chicken Cock.
Jesus.
Chicken Cock Red Stave. That's my number 1 for the year.
Yeah. Yeah, good bottle. All right, Gregory, you're up. Let's do it.
All right, so I think my number 5 was probably, I went back and forth between 4 and 5 though, but Blanton's Gold was probably one of my 5. It wasn't, I had a lot of great bottles, but the Blanton's Gold was a shocker to me though. It was a shocker because Takara Red, Takara Black, Green Label, Blanton's, they're okay to me. But when I had that gold, that was so many levels above the rest of them though too. So I definitely, that was just a surprise pour to me though, a sleeper.
Okay.
4 for me. I'm gonna go Bardstown, man, Silver Oak.
You like that,
dude? I really thought Silver Oak.
See, that was a good birthday gift.
If they don't, people don't know Silver Oak winery in Napa, California. Though I think actually it's not normal, but fresh crack pour was better to me than when it actually opened up and breathed. But when we first fresh cracked that, I was a fan.
Yeah,
that bottle was amazing though.
Well, we bought. Let's see, we probably got about 6 of those bottles between the group, between like getting it for gifts and everything. And yeah, that's an enjoyable bottle. But it's not surprising because Bardstown Bourbon Company really does a great job across its fusions, its blends, its collaborative picks. They always seem to come up with some really cool mixes. So
yeah, it's always objective to your palate though. So for me, the Silver Oak was amazing though. Number 3, I'm gonna go with the Wild Turkey Mash Keep Voyage 2. We all loved it though. Number 2, this is to me is one of the best ones right here in a sense of it's been around for a long time. Wild Turkey Master's Keep. I put it number 2 because you can't find it in PA necessarily, but it sits on shelves so many places though too. And this bottle right here, dude, it's an amazing pour for $60, $70 though. Loved it. And for me, number 1, same as Dan, Chicken Cock Red Stave.
There we
amazing
go.
Pour.
Wow.
There we go, baby.
That was
that's interesting.
my top pour.
All right, so I put a lot of time and thought in this. For the sake of not getting all the Liberty Pole hate, the Liberty Pole hate, because everybody knows I love Liberty Pole, I will only mention one of them. Because realistically, there are 3 that I came back to over and over again. I excluded our barrel pick from this because I really love our barrel pick, but I feel like that's something that we probably should cut out. So number 5 for me was, I hate to say it, it was the Buffalo Trace Single Oak Project. You brought over. I really ended up enjoying the living shit. I didn't want to. That's the worst part. So here was something you gave to me, and right away I was already like, I don't want to like it, and I still liked it. So that speaks volumes. It was honestly a toss-up between that and the Blanton's Gold. I think we all agreed the Blanton's Gold was really, really good this year. It was just really well balanced and enjoyable. Number 4, I wrestled with this for a while because I almost put Old Forester 1924 in this slot, but it goes to, and it's a good, because 1924 was very good.
Yeah.
It was a very good pour.
Really, you put that in your top 5?
Well,
really?
I was going to.
Not knocking Old Forester.
Not knocking Old Forester.
Still, like, of all the pours we've had, though, really.
It would definitely make my top 25.
It's definitely, that's within my top 10. But it was replaced when I had the Russell's 15. I really, really, really enjoyed your Russell's 15, especially. Yours tasted so much better than anybody else's.
Mine always tastes better than everybody else's.
Yeah. Anytime it's not your whiskey, it's delish. It was phenomenal, and I didn't want to like it. It's another one I was like, God, I don't want to like these super hard to find expensive bottles, because let's face it, some of these bottles that we're mentioning, they're just the price you pay for trying to get it. It almost takes away from it.
Especially after Fred Minnick. Fred Minnick put it number 1, his top 100. Bottle, this Russell's 15 went from a secondary price of $400 to $500-$600.
Yeah.
People are asking, trade you for a George T. Stagg, trade you for an old.
So I call it the whiskey pitfalls, and I'll talk about it after I get through my list of people, the really famous talking heads, because they do affect prices, which is
100%.
which I think is bullshit to a degree, especially when some of the people that are just straight goobers, in my opinion. I'm not saying we'll just leave there. So all right, so I have 5. I took Buffalo 15. single oak project. Yep. Russell's 15. 3 for me. I fucking loved what Liberty Pole did with their Amberana rye. I think it destroyed Rio. I think it killed any other Amberana that's out there. It was just, it blew it away. And it's something about the way that Liberty Pole does their process, but it was also a rye. It wasn't a bourbon, it was a rye. There was just this really great balance of flavor. Last night you poured me a glass of Rio as our final pour, and you didn't tell me what it was. You're like, we'll smell it right away. I was like, I said, take a guess.
Of all, if there's 500-600 bottles down here, I said this is the only one that I will put almost 100%. You will know what this one is,
because Amberana has such a distinct smell to it.
We talked about Liberty Pole too, and Liberty Pole
they have a very distinct flavor. Yeah,
in most of their bottles, most of them, there's a smell that.
Well, we know it because we down there.
We drink it a lot, though.
But when you raise a Liberty Pole, you can just smell. It's like a craft nostril punch. When they did that rye,
stuff though.
So when they did that signature, when they did that Amberana, I really, really loved it. I'm glad I bought some extra bottles. So 2 and 1 are pretty tough for me because it was a toss up.
Wild Turkey, Master's Keep.
Yeah, Wild Turkey's Master Keep, and the Voyage and the Red Stave. The Red Stave I'd put at number 2. You guys know I really, really, really loved that Voyage. Like, I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
because mine kept getting smaller and smaller. Every time somebody came over, have you tried the Voyage? And Jim, every time I've never had that.
Like 4 times.
You had that last time you were here, dude.
Like I telling you, dude.
That's why I had to take
your Voyage tastes way better than mine. So that's my top 5. There are some honorable mentions that I think you get one gimme. What's your honorable mention? You're outside that and not 1924. We all agree that one's a great one.
I mean, the Lonely Oak Project.
That was
Single Oak Project. Single Oak Project by Buffalo Trace. That was a hard one between that and Blanton's.
I'm surprised you didn't mention the one that you are named after.
Danko.
Oh, Danko had my top 5 too, but it's not out there. I decided to stay away from it though. It's not on the market right now, but Danko's in my top 10 though. Danko's what they are.
Iron City Distillings.
Correct.
Danko Rye.
And
Danko's a type of rye.
I don't think Danko's going to be for certain people. Dude, it's amazing to me. It's just something so different. It's like trying an Amberana for the first time, though, because you're like, what the hell is this? Once you've had Amberana, you know what Amberana is. But the first time, you have no idea what it is. Danko, no clue what it was, though. Liberty Pole's Amberana, though, but I was trying to stay away from Liberty Pole this time. Love my Liberty Pole family, but we we all here, we talk about it so much though too. I was like trying to stay away from that though. But Liberty Pole, Amberana, that Danko, we're definitely up there for me though. And
What was your honorable mention? The Buffalo.
This Buffalo Trace.
So I'll give a shout out to a couple then.
Yeah, go for it.
I love the Liberty Pole Cherry Coal, the one that you did not like. I love that one. That was one I really loved. I've been through.
What about the pecan pie? You had it before 24?
Yeah, that's
yeah. I had it in 24 was the first time I had it. Though.
That's one of I would say my all-time favorite bottles. All of the Forbiddens by Mary Ann Eves were phenomenal, and I didn't put them in the top 5 only because I can't. They're all so damn good. All 3 batches.
Batch 2, man.
I see, and I was really partial to batch 3, but I've waffled on it, and I don't know. So I mean, that's to me what she has done. I'm like batch 4. Come on, please, because those are treats. Those are. I feel like those are real treats. She's done a phenomenal job picking those. She's a legend. God bless her for being doing what she's doing, because she picks them really, really well. You brought up a couple that were really good. The Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit Rare Breed is another one that I think.
You know what I enjoyed? The Dovetail Hazmat.
Yeah. The one that Connor brought over.
The one that Connor brought over, the Dovetail Hazmat. That was really enjoyable for a hazmat and didn't punch like a hazmat.
There's so many bottles for me too. It's not quite top 5, but having the Garrison Brothers Cowboy, their 140.1 hazmat this year. Dude, amazing. I had 2 friends try it who were pretty big into whiskey. When they tried it, they both went out and bought bottles. It's not my top 5, but it was an amazing pour. And I wouldn't be shocked if we all tried 250, 300 different pours this year, though.
Oh, I think we're well past that.
We're well past that.
But I mean, when we talk
it does become hard.
About Forbidden, I mean, God, these are all amazing pours. But for my palate, these are the ones that were just like shocker to me. Like the Chicken Cock Red Table, like holy shit.
I think of the bottles that that to me that make us go buy something that night.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Like, the thing is, we're on episode 72 right now. So we did 71 episodes in 2024.
A lot of times we sample 2 or 3 or 4 bottles.
2 or 3, 4.
Yeah.
On the show sometimes. So you figure pre-podcast, post-podcast.
We have a lot.
We easily probably sampled close to 300, 350 different bottles this year.
Yeah.
That wasn't showcased on the podcast.
That's fair.
That's a shit ton.
So one of the things that we did this year has happened. We talked about 2024 in your review, and I want to know what your favorite Scotch of 24 that you tried.
I don't remember, but I remember. Because I don't remember which one it was, but the Octomore or the 14.2 or whatever it was.
The one Jim brought over, the new Octomore?
Yes, because I remember
in the beige bottle.
I remember, but I don't remember. I don't remember what it was. But that to me, hands down, that was amazing. And me, I'm like, I want to.
So PD1 was your favorite?
It was a mild peat. Honestly,
there's nothing mild about Octomore.
Yeah.
No bullshit. You two are idiots. Okay, you can look at each other all you want.
We're the idiots.
You are, but there's some. He's giving me.
You know what?
He's giving me.
No. I like this.
You have given me some shit though too, dude. That was so high in the peat scale. I was like, holy.
That's an Octomore.
Right.
Here's what's happened, Craig.
Your palate
has gotten used to it, and you're starting to enjoy the flavor.
Still was nothing like what you gave.
That was not the most hazmat of peat in the Octomore. But Octomores are known for having their peaty punches. So okay,
but
so you know what?
It wasn't that aggressive.
He looked at me like I was dumb.
Hey, what's 6 inches long and hasn't been sucked in 13 years? Whitney Houston's crack pipe.
What's your favorite Scotch that you had this year?
I gotta agree with him.
Really?
When Jim brought that up, it was hands down top of the Scotch. You know what?
There's been some real growth with you too.
No, that's what is that? Is that a Irish whiskey? The Redbreast that we had at Liberty Pole that
Redbreast 27. Yeah.
Oh,
Redbreast 27.
We got for Jim. Yeah.
That was fucking.
Yeah, great. That's an Irish whiskey.
Yeah, that's an Irish whiskey. Yeah.
So
I'm surprised that didn't make my top 5, but that was definitely in the top 10.
I think I told Kevin and told Jim that's when I was taking some medicine and God, my heartburn was so bad. I tried it that night. Oh, I felt so bad. My heartburn was so bad. I'm like, hey,
And then you broke like 3 glasses, remember? Or was that Connor?
Wasn't me.
Might have been. Might have been Matt.
Might have been Matt.
But yeah, I mean, that red breast is a good pour though.
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
the
even
27-year-old.
to me, even the 12-year, even
I'm
the
not a fan
12-year.
of the 12. I am not a fan
I don't
of the
mind
12.
the 12.
No, we bought a bottle a while back of that, and
Yeah, I still can't.
What do you think about a Macallan 12?
I'm not a
cheap
big Macallan.
shuffler. See, I like Macallan 12.
I'm not a Macallan fan. Like I'm a Delmore through and through. I'm going Delmore, probably a little bit more Belvini.
yeah.
What's the other one?
Glenlivet's.
The Glenlivet's.
So I was super surprised of all the scotches that I've had this year, and I think I'm probably more into scotch than you guys are.
Oh, hands down, there's zero
But-
doubt about that.
And I really love the peaty stuff, and I really find great flavor. And there's a lot that I could choose from, but the one that sticks in my mind was the Dalmore Trio.
I don't remember.
And you know, I mean, that was, and it probably, well, especially at the price that I got it at, which was an absolute.
It's the one that you basically crushed that one night.
So,
Yeah.
I remember I've been going to a couple of whiskey bars and
Yeah.
so I pretty much always drink it neat. Went to a couple of bars and I said, "Hey, you guys have Glencairns here? Can I get in the Glencairn?" They said,
What brand's that?
Oh, they did. They said, "Well, we have Glenfiddich, we have Glen this." I'm like, no, I have to pull Google. I'm like, no, it's a glass.
No, it's a glass.
I said, it's
Yeah.
like pouring a like a Guinness stout in a glass. This is whiskey, and I'm like, never mind. I'll just shut up because the wife looks at
Yeah.
me like,
Fuck you, whiskey snob.
Yeah, you
Shut
whiskey
the fuck up.
snob.
It
Yeah.
is because
But it's interesting, you know, that you can go into these so-called whiskey bars and they don't have Glens, and you know they don't really know how to serve it over rocks properly.
you know what does this actually do? So you know a lot of your beer glasses, though, you have 12 glasses, a lot of different ones that aerate a beer. Though, what does this actually do for a whiskey?
It just
versus
opens
It's
your
so you
aroma.
can nose it a
Yeah.
little bit better too.
Right.
But you know, you
It's like-
have this habit where you shove the entire glass in your mouth, like you know.
So when
Does
you,
it taste different though
It
than a
does.
beer when you oxygenate a beer versus
That's
having
the whole
it,
point.
Well, having it in a rocks glass though,
Well,
is
well,
it different in a?
well, the thing is because of how small this top is, when you put it in your
Right.
mouth, it's right up against your nose, so you're getting the smell
Is
as
forced right to your
nostrils.
My
as
question
well
is rocks versus Glencairn, and a lot of beers at oxygenation a lot different though.
as-
right.
But
because
think
of the
about this:
small-
both of you in the
Actually,
last year
Taste.
have gone from being pure rocks drinkers. You know, if we talk about 2024 in review, since we started this,
In the beginning, I never.
you would have never had it
rocks.
neat, and now
Correct.
you're almost exclusively neat. I'm still probably about 50-50. It just depends on the season and heartburn.
I got stomach issues, so I'm like,
Yeah, I mean you're
I'm
like me.
70-30. I'm like
Yeah.
70-30. 70% on the rock, 30% neat.
But when it's Scotch, it's always neat.
Yeah, when it's scotch.
When it's Scotch, it's always neat. So I mean,
you can't put scotch on
yeah,
a rock.
I think we've in the last year we've ebbed and flowed and we've grown a little bit. I'm
Our
curious.
palates have changed.
Our palates have changed. And so I mean, you know, 2025. I'm curious to see what kind of paths we go down. You know, when it comes to other whiskeys, I'd like to I'd like to get some input from people that listen. Like, do they want to hear about like Indian whiskey and the other whiskeys that are out there? More Scotch.
whiskey.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
No.
Jesus. Well, there's HR. HR will be stepping in on
Jesus,
this
you
one
can't
right
do
here.
that.
God, yeah. You know what?
Anyway, we're gonna move on from this really quickly.
but like, there's two different types of Indians. You got to differentiate.
From the country of India.
Okay, I didn't know if you were talking like fire, water, Indian whiskey, or
How has he made it this far in life? Like he's like, oh, what kind of whiskey? What the fuck?
I didn't make the noise.
You did.
I did not make the noise.
So still,
I made the
Oh,
gesture.
Jesus.
You made the noise, you asshole.
So still in my whiskey journey, I'm still very interested to try King of Kentucky. I still haven't tried it. A lot of people out here have tried King of Kentucky. I have not had that one though.
Sounds like you need to go find the bottle.
Oh, it's a pricey bottle. I'll just pay for a pour though.
You're our money man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're going to lose anyways. Listen, you know what? That sounds like a great bottle. Since he didn't want to agree about the whole haircut thing, sounds like great. We're going to talk about this for a minute. I'm going to give you the update because I've been asked this by a lot of people. Actually, are really following the whole my no haircut journey, And
two people isn't a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know, two people isn't a lot.
It's really become more than that. So yes, I have not had a haircut since Aruba. November 20. I don't know. Connor's striking. He's on team me, and it's getting long.
A month and a half.
It's flowing. The way the wind hits it, just yeah.
You look like you're ready to buy a fucking trailer.
Listen, we've already gotten through the hard part of it. So, Connor, he said what? What month did he say, Connor?
April. No, I said April. What?
You said April.
Dude, he changes the months all the time back there.
Like, see, what's he smoking?
Okay, so what we're going to go with April. But the deal is that you made with me on a previous episode.
We're going to pull it up. You're so full of shit. You are full of shit.
Do you want to make a bet about the bet that you want to make a bet on a bet? Right now.
Oh, you're getting aggressive.
Yeah, yeah. One hitter. So do you want to bet that you're wrong about that bet? And then we'll get back to the original bet.
So let's get back to
No. This is important because we're not going to have any more mistakes. Do you want to bet that you do not make that bet on a podcast, Gregory? Danko? 3, 2, you better man up or shut up.
For right now.
Yeah, okay.
You could make a bet.
Yeah, so here it is. If I make it to April, I get the bottle of either Single Barrel or CYBP Wellers. That's the easy get for you, Care Bear. Don't worry about it.
I don't think he picked April. April was my month.
No, April was what he fucking said.
No, April's what I said.
We aren't going to shave. I'm going to shave this motherfucker's head.
No, you're not.
You're getting a haircut.
It doesn't matter. That won't be me getting a haircut. That'll be me getting hair raped. There's a difference. Okay, hair rape's not acceptable.
Hey, we paid Milo enough money. He'll cut that while he's sleeping. I'm just
That's
saying.
still hair rape. That's hair molestation. That's against the law.
So
everybody knows this.
Hey, dude. Besides whiskey, I'd love to talk about college football or something, though.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I have to say, your Buckeyes surprised the shit out of me.
Oh God.
Who do you? I mean, seriously. No matter who you hate, who you love, who would you pick right now, though?
Well, let's talk about it. So we've done a lot of drinking and a lot of college football watching. I think we both agree the Arizona State Texas game might have been one of the best college football games that we've gotten to watch in the last 20 years.
Texas shit the bed on that.
And how do you feel about
that? Just made me.
I cannot believe they did not call targeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was not targeting.
It was targeting.
You're
that was
crazy.
not fucking
it was targeting.
Dude, that
if
was
you slow it down,
if you slow it down, it's absolutely targeting.
The only thing slow here is
you look at full speed. That was not fucking targeting.
Oh my
yes,
God.
it was.
You slow anything down, everything looks like
Have you seen
targeting.
how many calls have been called targeting? Much lesser than that one?
Daniel.
That was not fucking
Jesus
targeting.
100% it was targeting.
Okay.
Neither here nor there.
Moving on, 2 to 3, we believe it was targeting.
Neither here nor there. Arizona State played his balls off because we thought that they would absolutely get run over.
Yeah.
Scattaboo, their running back, is a fucking monster, right? The dude threw a touchdown. He caught a touchdown. And you could not tackle this guy.
Dude,
he was just, the dude is like Incredible Hulk on crack.
Yeah.
So I think one of the best college football games I've watched last 20 years. I didn't think it was going to get better than the Georgia Tech game that we watched, which was great.
Well,
but
the Michigan game, Michigan-Bama game was good.
Dude,
it was toward the end, but the problem is that Bama, to me, when they came out to play Michigan, Bama came out with that, we deserve to be in the CFP mantra, and Michigan came out, we're so happy that we finally got our team identity together, and Michigan, as much as I'm an SEC fan, Michigan showed why they beat Ohio State. They did.
I feel like Arizona State, Texas. I feel like it was targeting. We disagree. That's cool.
99% of the world, except for the idiots.
Would the game have changed? I don't know. But Arizona deserved. But if it was a targeting call, Arizona State had a chance to get a field goal to win the game.
To win it, yeah.
So I didn't like that, though.
Yeah.
I'm an Ohio State fan. I think Ohio State chokes a lot of the time, though. But I would say right now, I mean, if I can't be unbiased, but if I could be unbiased, I would say they're probably the favorite right now based off the way they're playing. Based off the way they're playing, but I still, dude,
you never know any given day, but I'm telling you.
But Ohio State can go up and down.
You know me, I bash Ohio State all day long. If Ohio State comes out like they did against Oregon, against Texas, they're going to blow Texas out. If Texas played like they played against Arizona.
So, yeah.
So who do you have? Who do you all have in the national championship right now?
I originally had Texas all the way through and through, but that Arizona game got me worried completely. The way Ohio State played, I don't know. I think, honestly, at this point...
I'm going to go Ohio State.
It could be anybody's game. It could
think so, too. I agree.
Anybody could take it right now. Penn State...
It wouldn't shock me if Ohio State shit the bed. It wouldn't shock me if Texas showed up and played an amazing game, though. But I'm going to be biased enough to go with Ohio State, though. And what do you think? Notre Dame?
It depends.
Penn State?
I want to see... I know there's a lot of Notre Dame fans out there cheering Notre Dame on. I want to see Penn State win, home state, but
how do you guys,
it could be anybody's game, to be honest.
How do there's a lot of controversy over Notre Dame still not being in a conference, being independent, though.
Yeah.
What are the thoughts on that, though?
They need a conference.
Yeah, they need. I will say this.
Because if you look at their schedule, I'm sorry, half their schedule, they play shit teams. Other half of the schedule, they played solid teams. Yeah. So it's like a 50-50 schedule. Like one week you're playing fucking like St. Elizabeth Community College, and then the next week you're playing, a top 10 team.
I think we all do that, though. I mean, Ohio State will play a D1 school like Miami of Ohio. We all play.
There are weak teams on everybody's schedule. Here are my takeaways so far, and then I'll give you my favorites. One, it has sucked to be the bye week team. All the bye week teams, all the first seeds, they got a passive loss. Oregon looked, I don't know what Oregon was doing. They didn't even look like they wanted to show up and play. Georgia, now granted they lost Carson Beck, but it's still Georgia.
That's a key player. You lost your quarterback.
Listen, but it wasn't like your backup was from Kalamazoo, Middle State College.
But still,
this kid, if you watch it, he was a great. He did a great job.
He's on a big stage, never played.
It wasn't even that. We watched that game. His receivers dropped 8 balls that were of huge impact.
Right.
So, I've never been a fan of Notre Dame. I've never liked Notre Dame. And we were talking about this. You're like, well, why do you not like Ohio State so much, and why do you not like Notre Dame, and why do you not like Texas? And I have to say, of the teams that I really dislike the most in those order, it's Notre Dame, Texas, and Ohio State. So, this is like what I'm left with. So, I'm actually going to poll for Ohio State. I don't like Texas because Texas bought their way into the SEC. And I will say this: that they hold on. Let me finish this. Texas all year was given the ample way to find their way toward the college football player. They were given a schedule that favored them at their home state. They even got that over Oklahoma. So I don't know if their check was fatter than Oklahoma's when they bought in, but that's fact. We said it. They will not let Texas lose that game when it came to that targeting call. We said that shit. Okay? So I just don't like Texas. I just think that they're overrated. They get too much finger bang love.
Dude, can you give us a Cliff Notes right now, though, please?
I know.
Notre Dame, the harboring of anger toward Notre Dame goes back to Lou Holtz when they played for it. All right, so, but I will say this.
When I was 12 years old, my dad wouldn't buy me a Notre Dame jersey. So fuck Notre Dame. I'm a Florida boy.
I will say this, though, and you and I talked about this, that Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame, class act. When the attack happened in New Orleans, and our hearts go out to everybody in New Orleans, in the state of Louisiana, and the victims. But
I mean,
he was 100% classy. He goes, right now, this isn't about football. The Sugar Bowl can wait. This is about a tragedy that affects all Americans, and how do we process it? And more importantly, he said something that was very important. How do we communicate this to our kids on a team? That we still want to go out there and be competitive and play football. But right now, football don't matter. And so I thought that there was a large amount of class. Then they went out on the field and they did something to Georgia that ain't been done. They shut Georgia down. So leads me to who I think is going to win it. I think the best game is going to be Penn State and Notre Dame. I really would like to see the winner of that game win it all. And that hurts me to say that. But Penn State hasn't won a championship since 1980.
No, since like 90-something.
No.
I thought 90-something.
I thought they won the national champion. I know they won a Rose Bowl.
Dude, I thought 90-something too, and I think it's 86.
It's 86. So both Notre Dame and Penn State are 80s with their last national championship.
We believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was 90s as well, but I think it's 80 something though.
I would like to see Ohio. Oh God! I would like to see Ohio State beat Texas.
Go fuck yourself.
For two reasons. One, I like Texas less than I like Ohio State, and I want to see his fucking bracket blown up. What do I think is going to happen? I think the Texas is going to show up with anger after what happened, and if Ohio,
which one of you are busting ass?
I just burped. I burped and blew it.
Oh, that's his.
Did you lick somebody's ass? You must have been eating ass because it smells like
Hey, you
ass.
ain't gonna get no wings. You keep on running your mouth, you get no wings. None. Zero.
Is that what you were doing upstairs?
Anyways, overall, if it's Ohio State, Penn State, I think Ohio State wins it.
Who you picking though? Quit talking about who you going with?
I'm not going to change my pick. I'm riding with Texas.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm riding with Texas. I'm hoping, the Arizona game was a wake-up call. Hey, it's too close. We went to overtime. We got to go out there and just run shit against Ohio State.
All right. You got Texas. I got Ohio State and Penn State, and I hope it's
Should you
Penn
take
State.
3 out of the 4 teams for the national
I did. I took
Ohio State.
I took everybody but Texas.
No, he called it. He said he thinks the national championship's Ohio State, Penn State, and he thinks Penn State's. Well, he hopes. He didn't say.
Now, if it's Ohio State, Notre Dame, I'll go. It's hard for me on that one.
I have to be biased, and I have to go Ohio State.
But
they scare.
I think the odds right now, if you're a bookie, Ohio State's going to be the favorite.
Based off the way they played, I think Ohio State's the favorite.
You can say about Oregon that they didn't show up, and they did not. They didn't look like they showed up. But if you don't show up, that's a comment about your preparation level. Right?
Ohio State's favored right now, but after January 10th, 11th, may not be favored anymore, though. So we'll see.
Well, let me ask you this before we wrap. Let me ask you this about Ohio State. If Day does not win at all, is he done? Or is he done enough of this postseason to stave his job off for one more year?
I think he saved his job.
I definitely think if he goes to a national championship and loses by a couple points, I think he's okay. But I think right now,
if he doesn't get past Texas, do you think it's
right now? I think he's definitely made some statements, or his team, whoever they've made some. Man, it's a big turnaround.
So do you think it's more about performance? So if they go in and they play Texas for 4 quarters and it comes down to an overtime win,
Ohio State would rather lose to an unranked team than Michigan, though. Losing to Michigan,
but they've lost
like
to
losing
Michigan.
a national championship.
When he lost to Michigan, the seat got hot for him.
Especially this Michigan team. This Michigan team that's struggling this year.
Well, they don't look like they're struggling anymore. They found their identity.
But still, they still were a 4 or 5 loss team though, and they expected a win. So is his job on the line now?
So is he safe if they lose
I think he's
Texas?
somewhat safe now. Though,
I think he's safe regardless.
I think after these wins now, if he would have went into the first playoff game and got blown away, I don't know.
Okay, so let's for argument's sake,
Tennessee versus Tennessee and got blown out.
Let's say for argument's sake, they win at Texas, they lose the national championship.
He's safe. I think.
But what happens if the next year they go into Ann Arbor and they lose to Michigan again?
I think as long as they make the college playoffs, he's safe. You're not going to get rid of a coach if he continuously makes the college playoffs. I don't know. If you don't
beat your rival,
I disagree. If you can't win the big games though, too. These big colleges like Ohio State, Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, they get mad when you don't win the big games.
Yeah,
that's great. You could win the season, but
they get mad. But if you're going to the bowl games, you're making money for the university.
Well, I would say the same is
the biggest money producers in college football, though, and you have to win on the big stage, though.
Yeah, but if you lose, you're still making money. It's all about getting to the bowl game. Winning the national championship. If you get far enough,
but that's not true for a couple of rivalries. That's not true.
Here's the thing. Time out. Let me speak. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You make it to the college playoffs. Granted, you don't get a bye. How much revenue are you making for that school in ticket sales? Winning that first round, winning that second round, winning that third. You know what I mean? How much money are you bringing into that university? They're not going to get rid of you if you're going deep into that college playoff every year.
You know what you're talking about, Dan? I'm interested to see college football playoff. Let me ask you guys one thing though. how much more fun has this been? Because college football used to be over January 2nd, 3rd,
now
4th.
it was over now.
No, it was
And we're
now we're going all the way to the 20th. Dude, this is amazing. I love it. I love the fact we have more college football because I love college football. It's a lot more revenue.
I think it's brought life back into college football. I think it's brought. And not only
I don't think it lost life. I think it's added life.
I do.
No, it brought life back.
It brought life back. I was ready to absolutely quit college football.
Really?
Yeah, because of the NIL
controversy over 1 and 2. Well, NIL is his first year.
Well, controversy,
but it's not. It's not its first year. It's the second year. NIL's is the second or third year. But the college football playoff has now said to people, if we lose a game, we might be all right. If we lose 2 games, we might be all right. And we've gotten. This has energized the professional football. They're finding that viewership and interest level is up on both accords. I mean, we're talking about right now, we got NFL playoffs coming up.
It's a gauntlet right now to walk through.
Yes.
So let me ask you one question, though. When you spread products up, do you think just because you win your conference, a big conference, you should be in the college football playoff?
I don't. Here's why. If anything, this has shown it out this year. I understand why they're going to do it with the conference, the automatic bids. But I think that if you win your conference power should be ranked. And
if you're not the top 12,
well, hear me out. So if you win the Big 12, but the Big 12 is a shit conference, and your Big 12 winner was what, SMU?
And if you're Big 12,
I don't think
16 and 18th ranked.
I don't think you should get an automatic bye.
I think if you win the conference, it should affect your ranking, but you shouldn't automatically get a bid.
But if your conference is 16th and 18th teams and you win, okay, you're not in the top 12. Maybe the SEC has a top 5 teams.
Yeah, so the real problem comes down to what conferences are really the true power conferences. Here's what we know. We know the SEC, the Big Ten, the SEC,
Big Ten, I think
are the power conferences. You got no ACC. Put Clemson in there because they won it. They didn't deserve to be in there. Miami deserved to be in there over anybody, and they really didn't deserve to be in there. Boise State played a hell of a game. They proved that they deserved to be in there. SMU, no, they got butt fucked. So, but
kind of like your breath right now.
I hate your face. I think that there's going to be some conversations about it. I think there needs to be some conversations about it. But undoubtedly, this has been so much more entertaining and so much more enjoyable as a fan.
I love this a lot more. I love seeing the college football season extended, though.
And we've got a lot of whiskey time because of it. So I'm happy. So
Connor's looking like he's ready for some pours.
Yeah, well, it's almost winning time. Listen, so we're gonna wrap this podcast up, guys. On the next podcast, we're gonna introduce our winners for the December bottle giveaway, both our Patreon customers and our Instagram and Facebook. Yep, and we'll talk about what new bottles we're gonna give out. So stay tuned for that to come out. Also looking for your input on what you guys want to see us talk about in the new 2025. Yeah. Hey, listen, this year we don't have to deal with dumb bullshit politics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we say. So,
cheers.
We wish you guys a very, very, very happy New Year. Again, our prayers and thoughts go out to all the victims in Louisiana, New Orleans. We're thinking of you, and God bless you. And as we always say, until next time, stay thirsty, my friends. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, now it's your job to hit.
You got to actually hit the button. There you go, champ.
No, he didn't hit it.
God damn.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.